Well, hello again, Slurds. Welcome back to the Cheers to Comics podcast. I am your host, Brian Lane, and this is Pull List Priorities for November 27th, 2019. The thing is this isn't your ordinary Pull List Priorities, though. I'm doing something a little bit different here. I'm going to bring some camaraderie into the show. I've got a special guest host, and she goes by Chanel. What's up, Chanel?
Hey there, Brian. Thank you so much for having me on, man.
I'm glad we kind of did this last second. Originally, we had this plan to record tomorrow,
Right?
and then I realized that, oh shit, my content's available today, and you were cool enough to be able to do a last second type of situation, and here we are, getting ready to talk about some fucking comic books. Are you
And I'm
excited?
fucking excited.
Right on, right on. Well, shit, well, I guess for the listeners, any new listeners out there, if you're not familiar with what this segment is, essentially it's me and Chanel hyping you up on what is hitting shelves next Wednesday. Comics. I know you just picked up your books, but I'm already excited for next week. So I'm here to remind you, to get you hyped up, whether you're a collector, a reader, or a speculator. This is your show. So here we go. Where are you from, Chanel? What are you doing? Comic books. You know, we don't get a
Okay.
whole lot of female
I
comic book readers doing it in the capacity that you do. And originally, the reason I was attracted to have you on as a co-host is because I see your pull list. And any pull list that can compare to my pull list, that's that I got to applaud that.
yeah, it's
So
it's massive, that's for sure. And then I always think that I'm cutting it and it just keeps growing. So I know you know that better than anybody. We definitely bonded on that.
yes, yes. Well, shit. Tell us what you're about. What do
Oh,
you read? What do you like? How long you been doing this, and all that good stuff.
so I'm a Denver native, a North Denver native. Mile High Comics, right by the North Side Projects, always kind of been there. I never really was into comics growing up. I was kind of the cool kid in that. So I didn't realize that the cool kid was the kid who knew about comics, who knew about Star Wars, who knew about the Force and all that kind of cool shit until I met my husband. I probably fought him on it for my teens and 20s. And then, but by the time I hit 30, I was ready for this. But I'm so glad that I waited because I was able to just get everything at once. I didn't have to wait for shit. So God bless that.
Hell yeah.
However, I was not the first thing that I wanted to do was wear tight Venom shit. I wanted to wear some really cool gear, but my dude wasn't having that. He said, you have to know at least the basics before you do that, or you're a poser. Next thing you know, this grew into a huge love for me that I didn't know existed. And I superseded him in his comic collection since he was, collecting in the 90s and stuff. So I take pride in that. I'm very competitive. I love that I beat him in anything,
Hmm.
especially in comics. So yeah, I definitely love the new stuff. Big Marvel, DC. I wish I was better with indie. So that's why I'm very glad to be here with you.
Oh,
I
this
am.
podcast will turn you out into being an indie reader. I fucking promise you. That's probably my biggest praise when people listen to the show. Like, dude, I'm reading all types of shit that I didn't even know existed because of pull list priorities,
Uh,
and
when you told
I'm here to
me
turn you out too.
when you told me just a little tiny bit of things that you were into, I got a pen and paper out and I'm ready for when you talk. I might throw your ass on mute so that I could just speed write all the shit that you're saying because I got my Marvel and DC down, but I'm in shameful when it comes to the rest.
Well,
But I actually do co-host another podcast. I'm going to do a shameless plug here.
plug
So
away.
it's the Big Two podcast, the Big Two, all spelled out podcast. The host Joey Galvez. Joey Galvez, he is from Phoenix, or he's from Arizona, at least I should say. And he and I met on these live sales that you do on Facebook. Monster Comics, got to shout them out. That's where we met. And he asked me to be a guest one day. It turned into me being his co-host. And we basically talk everything Marvel and DC mostly. Sometimes we throw a bit of indie in there. We like to talk about our pull list, stuff like that. So if you want to check us out, just the Big Two podcast, you can find us on your favorite listening site, or you can find us on all social medias.
Well, I'm gonna retweet you guys out too once this episode goes up, because I was actually talking to Joey a little bit before while you
Cool.
were getting set up, and he seems like definitely someone that I could probably mesh with on this show. So we're probably
Oh
gonna get some
man,
stuff going together, and the Big Two and Cheers to Comics podcast may be something that is referred to in the same sentence more than once down the road. So
that excites me more than you can ever know.
right on, right on.
Yes, yes. But what I do for my profession is I am a reporter. I know that's so cliche. It's like, okay, Lois Lane, who do you think you are, right? But before comics, I was a journalism major. I got my bachelor's in multicultural journalism from Metro. I write for El Seminario. It's a free pickup paper here in Colorado. You could read us at elseminariocolorado.com. Type in my name, Chanel Ward. You'll see all my stuff. I take all the photos. I write all the papers and I get all the interviews. So check me out there also.
Right on.
Plugin
Right
is
on.
done. My plugin is done. Thank you for that.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, I'm happy to get all that out there. We'll get that in the description as well. So there'll be
Thank you.
yeah. You ready to talk next week's comics?
I am beyond ready.
Let's fucking do this. Black Mass Studios. We're going indies as I usually do. Sometimes I switch it up, but I'm staying with my formula this week. Black Mass Comics. I'm all about number one, Chanel. You'll realize that if there's a number one, I'm going to talk about it.
Right.
And
I
we've
agree.
got there's a number one coming out of Black Mass that has me very intrigued. It's Space Riders Vortex of Darkness number one by Carlos Giffoni and Alexis Zurit. You'll also notice that I'm a master at butchering names too.
That's great. So am I. So
So with the number one, I gotta give a description, because just looking at that cover, it says 1991. That's what that I mean. Just if you were the art is 1991 for sure. So it's been 20 years
I
since the
love
Raiders.
90s art. Love 90s art. Are you pulling up that screen for me so we could see what we're seeing together?
Oh yeah, let me do that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Can you see that?
No, I cannot. Maybe it's
Not yet.
Nope.
All right, let's see.
That's okay. I have it. I just pulled it up on my phone. And you said
All right.
which was the
It's Space Riders Vortex of Darkness.
okay, and what is it under?
Black Mask.
Black Mask.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
so you'll see like this Skeletor looking guy, and I don't know, it's just everything about it says early 90s. It's awesome. So it's been 20 years since the writers defeated the destroyer god of evil and saved the galaxy, but when the mother of all gods appears and threatens to take control of every dimension and every strain of possible reality, the now cybernetically enhanced X-Riders will come together and travel into her mind to assassinate her soul. It's a suicidal mission to an infinite vortex of blood and death. I mean, sounds like a Brian book.
That sounds freaking sweet.
Yeah, gotta love it. Gotta love it. So that's just a little bit from Black Mass Comics this week. We're gonna travel down to Oni Press, talk about some. Well, we all know Rick and Morty, and Rick and Morty's coming hard this week. We've got our Rick and Morty ongoing. Kyle Stark's still doing that. Check Kyle Stark's a few episodes back, had him on the show, along with Terry Blas, also co-writing the story. Ben Dewey doing the art. And Kyle Stark's Rick and Morty's coming to end here soon. He let me know that it's ending at 60. Didn't see that coming.
Oh, wow. That's just 4 comics away.
4 away. Yeah,
wow.
It's all coming to at least his run. I'm not sure if it's going to continue on or what, but as of right now, he is the most prolific Rick and Morty writer until this season's over and this season's done. That'll change. But right now, Rick and Morty, Kyle Starks, they are synonymous.
Oh, just for knowing that, I'm going to have to grab all 6 variants, even in the Dungeons and Dragons ones, until we hit that 60 mark.
That Dungeons and Dragons one, however, is actually an entirely different story. There are 2 different Rick and Morty books coming out this week.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, well, Rick and Morty vs. Dungeons and Dragons Part 2, Painscape, is actually a series that I am incredibly fond of. The first 4 chapters, the first 4 chapters of the first volume was incredible, and now we're already on number 3. God, it's already coming to an end. I feel like it just started this. But Jim Zub and Troy Little. Yeah, right? This is a great series. I mean, you have to. Oh, I wouldn't say you have to know about Dungeons and Dragons. You just have to know of Dungeons and Dragons to enjoy this.
Fair enough.
And yeah, I think it's fun. They do a good job on this book. It's not what I expect it to be at all.
Oh, then I think that is where everything just gets better.
Well, for sure, because I mean, the first one we had this whole, all right, everybody is in this D&D world, and then they put out the second chapter, and you think, well, everyone's going to be in this D&D world now, and that's not necessarily the case. It's Rick saying, "Fuck you, I'm going to go through and figure out, find my own original story." I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it's a whole lot of fun. Highly recommended.
Picking them up, highly recommended. Adding them onto my list.
Right on. Chugging down to Scout Comics. We've got another number one, so I'm going to talk about it. Last Stop, number one. Trey Walker, Hoyt Silva. The newest entry in the new non-stop imprint, where Scout releases a world premiere issue followed by the entire story a few months later in one volume. So, I'm not sure what's going on here. It's I don't know, but here you are. There's a number one. We're talking about it, and Scout Comics has not disappointed me. So I don't see why you're not picking that book up. And then Midnight Sky number 3. I checked out issue 1 of Midnight Sky. It seemed cool and all. It's just I have a pretty dense list, and it's got to be really, really fucking cool on the first issue for me to pick it up. I don't know. It seemed like something I would read, but unfortunately it falls on a heavy week, and that's kind of that's what's keeping me from reading it.
So you're taking the Last Stop over the Midnight Sky for show?
Yeah, I will be this week.
Okay.
Either way, Scout Comics is getting my money.
Especially that it's a number one as well,
Yep, absolutely. Let's keep it going to Source Point Press. Source Point, what do we have here? Gutter Magic. All right, I remember talking about this when issue 1 came out. All right, we got Rich Duke Brett Barkley. One thing you'll notice about Previews World Chanel is that they don't do any proofreading on their descriptions.
Well, damn, I mean, with such hamster wheel of information, it would be impossible to edit this and get it out in the manner that they do. So bravo to them.
Well, yeah. You will hear me get frustrated sometimes because their descriptions make me sound stupid because I read it how I see it, and it makes me sound like I've got a 4th grade education sometimes. But
I think that's why our host Joey sometimes makes us write our own synopsis.
Gotcha.
We don't produce content as quickly as you do. We're the Rick and Morty to your South Park. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, shit. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Right on.
In the good way. In the way that you are quick, and it's my fault that we take hiatuses like we do.
Gotcha. Right on. So with this Gutter Magic, it's all right. Well, I guess I'll just try to read this description here. Maybe give new readers some sort of insight without me trying to go based off or give a memory-based description on something that I didn't even really read. So it's mayhem in the skies of Manhattan as Cinder and Black 2 steal an airship to track down the elusive Oppenheimer. All that stands in their way is a vengeful sorceress, her legion of minions, and a rampaging dragon. So, shit.
Wow. Have you read the first 2 or the first one?
I have not, no, but I for whatever reason, I don't think Mile High ordered the first one, so I didn't pick it up.
Okay.
Or they didn't order enough for me to get to it. I didn't get the chance to pick it up, but I might be able to go through and get review copies though to catch up. So
nice.
Yeah. Another number one from Source Point, Misplaced. I remember seeing this one in previews way back, and I remember being excited about it. So we got Chris Callahan doing the art and the story.
Mm.
Yeah, all right.
And it's only a 4-piece.
4-piece for sure.
I know that they make a lot of them in the comic world, but I really appreciate the little mini 4, 5, 6 series pieces. I don't know why, it just attracts me to them that much more. When they become 300, 400s, I can't keep up. Well, I didn't start with it,
The cool thing about miniseries is that just because you have a 4-issue story doesn't mean there can't be more.
Right.
I like how they do these because they could do the Misplaced 1 through 4, and then they could do the misplaced colon something 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 and have it be a whole new thing, but still within that universe. Just like how Lucas announced on the on the Creator Corner with Count Crowley. I thought Count Crowley was just going to be a 4 piece. Turns out there's this whole universe mapped out for it. So
Oh, nice.
yeah,
I wonder if they do that just to see how it hits off with audiences, you
and
know?
that's smart to do with an
Agreed.
indie company for sure. And even even with the bigger indies like Dark Horse, it's still smart to do. But smaller ones like Source Point, I think it's brilliant. Just like how Vault, or not Vault, a Scout they started this binge line. Well, they'll put out an issue 1, and then the remainder of the story comes out in trade. So there's not a 2, 3, and 4, but you get
Oh.
1, 2, 3, and 4 all in. So it's cool. Yeah, this one isn't a binge line or anything like that, but I do enjoy these 4-part series. I know there's a few people out there that say otherwise, but I don't know.
There's always going to be a hater. You feel
Oh,
me?
oh shit! In comics, most of them are haters.
I know, I hate that.
Yeah, that's why this podcast exists, because
Nice.
we're here to talk nice about comics,
Because we say peace amongst worlds with the FU up.
right?
As I was looking through previews world, I noticed that the Source Point Press had a lot of number ones coming out. They don't have very many comics. I mean, they probably have like a dozen, but like more than half are number ones. Ogres, number one. Touching Evil, number one. I never heard of neither of those.
Yeah,
But
no, ogres is definitely something that I really want to shout out on this show. It's Bob Sally and Sean Daly. I'm not sure what it is, but it's another 4-parter, and just if the inside art is reminiscent at all of the cover art, then I know visually it's going to be a lot of fun. The art in itself says this is going to be a fun story. And those are my favorite kinds. It could be dark and mind bending and Hickman like, where it's all mapped out and there's this big payoff at the end. But then there's stories where you're just having fun, like, and that's
just,
what the Rick and Morty D&D is. You're just
yep.
having a good time reading comics. So,
and I know that there's like people are indifferent or they love or hate Donny Cates. I happen to love Donny Cates, but I love the fact that his stuff is just a journey.
yep.
It's not Hickman-y, type. So I think it's starting to get that way now that he's starting to just cover
Venom.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
well, with his
man.
Venom universe and what he's done by creating Null. Null is everywhere now. Null
No.
was in Silver Surfer Black. Null is in he's everywhere. I don't want to give too many spoilers, but yeah, no, it's he's a thing, and it's this is
As a
Donny Cates' creation.
as a new comic reader, I have to say that if Donny Cates puts something out, I'll probably get it for sure.
I mean, you have to. If you read Marvel at all, you're reading Donny Cates.
You are.
If you're not reading Donny Cates, it's because
One
you're a
of those
Marvel
haters.
hater.
That's right.
One of the, like, air quote, DC fanboys. Not that there's anything wrong with being a DC fanboy, but
Nope.
when you hate on everything that's not DC, you're a fucking
Right.
problem.
Fucking problem.
You're a fucking problem.
That's hilarious. I'm adding Ogres 1 to my list because I just love the idea of it. And since it's going to be a short run, I would like to try to collect them all.
Right on. Another number one that I think you were getting ready to touch on, no pun intended, is Touching Evil.
Nice.
From Dan Daughtry, and, well, Daughtry doing the interiors as well. I love a fucking hybrid, man. There's more and more of them springing up in the indie world too, and it's smart because you've got two sources or two outlets to get famous. You can
right. And some stories are so freaking exciting that they shouldn't just be limited to one idea. They should be able to branch out. So Touching Evil is one of those, huh?
Oh yeah. So what do we have here? An attorney is given a curse from a mysterious prisoner that allows her to kill anyone instantly with the touch of her hand. There's a lot more in this description, but I'm going to leave it at that because that's enough to sell me.
Me too.
My taste is, I mean, my listeners know this, but my taste, if it has anything to do with just dark and grimy and evil, and yeah, I'm all about it.
I am
Not
too.
that that has anything to do with my personality.
Same here. I mean, I'm a gray of sunshine. We all know that. But I do love Punisher, Wolverine, and Ghost Rider because they're such tortured souls.
Yep.
So out of these number ones coming straight out of Source Point, what number one will be the first one you pick up?
Probably Touching Evil.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Touching Evil. That's a premise that I don't know. I like it. It's something that I could say that back in the days when I was trying to do stuff and be a creator myself, that was kind of a premise that I was kicking around a while, like a touch of death type of situation. So to see something like that, I wanna see it. I mean, I'm never gonna create that story now,
I
but I
love
want to read it.
why. I want to create a story with you, man. Shit, let's do this. I'm
Oh,
not even joking.
well,
I know you got a lot on your plate.
we need 9 days a week for me to take on something.
Well, you know,
This
we
is
can make it happen because time is just a construct. So,
well, yeah, that is
I
true.
mean, we
That
have
is
my writing chops. We have my hubby. He's an artist, a producer. I mean, we can do this if we really wanted to, you know?
right on.
Let's do it,
Absolutely.
Brian. I'm not joking.
Ah,
I have a whole idea for a couple of things. So, another topic, another time. I'll talk to you at work one day.
right on.
Okay, so out of
Uh,
these ones, though,
yeah,
I
what are
think
you
my
picking up?
number one is going to be Ogre, but I think number two will be Touching Evil because you freaking sold me.
Well, it's yeah. It seems like a lot of both of them seem like a lot of fun, but in two completely different directions. One of
Tight,
them might not be traditionally fun. You might have to be a little twisted like myself to call something like that fun, but
tight.
regardless, I'm into it. It's on my pull list. I'm going the distance on Touching Evil. It's got to be a
Okay.
shit first issue for me to not want to get into it because the premise in itself is enough for me to give it a proper chance. So,
Well,
yeah.
as I'm reading the entirety of what its little synopsis is, I cannot see the first issue being a flop at all. If it does, they really would have to work extra hard to make that shitty because the synopsis is good alone, you know?
Right, exactly.
Tight.
A lot of times, one thing I have noticed is when you get a synopsis like that, sometimes you don't have to read the book because the synopsis gives it all, and that takes away from it. So I mean, that's not always the case, but when you get a really cool, this is what's going on in the book, and then you go to get to the book and like, yeah, no, I knew this was happening.
Right? I
That's
know it.
why I don't always give the full description on the through previews world because I've had books ruined for me before
Good to
because of
know.
that. But yeah,
Good to
I don't know.
know.
That's just my gripe with previews world is all.
Well, my gripe with thousands of trailers for movies makes me feel like I've seen the movie before I sit down in the theater. You know, after I leave,
I
I'm like, all the best parts. What? It's stupid.
no,
Fucking
I don't
stupid.
I don't even watch trailers anymore. At
Me
least
either.
not purposely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
uh,
do purposely, so.
Gotcha. I mean, every once in a while, yeah, but most of the time, no. Just because, well, for the same reason you said, and also now that I've been dealing with it, in comics now, two mediums that I thoroughly enjoy. I mean, that would be like putting out a new album, but dropping 9 out of the 10 songs as singles on the radio first.
Right.
It's kind of what it
Or
feels like to me.
doing like Rick and Morty and only giving you the first 5 episodes of the season. Fuck them.
Uh,
Just playing. I think that they're probably going to release the second half after New Year's or something like that. So
Oh, is that what they did? Oh, I didn't even, I just watched the first episode and figured that was it.
you haven't even watched the second episode yet?
I didn't even know it was out there.
Yeah, it's out there.
That's how
Yep.
much time I have. Shit.
Okay. Wow. Shit. At least you have something to look forward to.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, that's Rick and
And
Morty's a
Rick and
prior.
Morty's a whole nother podcast for a whole nother time, Brian.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let's scoot on down to Vault Comics. Vault Comics this year has blown me away. I have yet to pick up a book from Vault that I'm not proud to have in my collection.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, it's been nuts. The first one is Mall number 4. For whatever reason, I didn't pick up Mall, but I've
Okay.
heard nothing but great things. It's from Michael Marizzi and Gary Dauberman, along with Zach Harden, and it's well,
Want me to read it?
yeah, you go for it. You go for
Okay.
it.
The Pentel Mate issue hurls Andre closer to the shocking finish line as he races monsters, mayhem, and murders toward a secret buried deep beneath them all.
So yeah, it's a dude trapped in a mall with a bunch of fucking monsters. It sounds
Tight.
awesome. I don't know. Yeah, I should have this in my collection. And now there's what, 3? Yeah, I don't know.
Four.
It
The
sounds
fourth one
great.
will
Yeah,
come out.
yep.
So you read the first at least one or two?
Well, I didn't because once again it
Okay.
wasn't available to me. But my the review company that I write for, Outright Geekery,
Hmm.
we just pulled in Vault Comics, so I will be able
Nice.
to go through now and get these review copies, which I'm super fucking excited about.
Good, yeah, because it seems like they're adding more and more like every month.
Yes, yes they are.
A lot of number
Uh,
ones here too.
Well, Money Shot, they're doing second printings here on these.
Oh, second printing.
Yeah, actually, Money Shot number 2
Huh.
came out on this past Wednesday. Money Shot
Okay.
was crazy.
Do you have that? Is that in your pool?
I picked up number 1, so because it's a second printing, I guess it doesn't hurt to talk about it a little bit for anyone that missed the first printing. And
Okay.
I could see a lot of people missing the first printing because it probably wasn't something that gained popularity until after it was released
Well,
and
I was
people read
going
it.
to say that I'm not a professional indie person or anything, but I don't think I've seen much second printings when it comes to any of these types of comics. So, and
Yeah,
especially two, it has A and a B second
yeah,
printing.
yeah. They even reprinted a variant.
That's a big
So
deal, right? For for an indie comic, especially a Vault indie comic, or is that
yeah,
what that's called?
yeah. No,
Okay.
I would say so. But this book, I mean, it probably initially printed low to be safe, and that's fine. I mean, I'm
Okay.
but it gained popularity, and the demand for a
Cool.
second printing came out. So essentially what this is it's a bunch of scientists. They're out to save the world, but they're broke as fuck. So what they have to do is have sex on camera for money, and that's what's going on in this. It's a bunch of scientists shooting porn to save the world.
Wow.
It's nuts. It's not something that's necessarily on my pull list because it's not really my flavor of comics. But I will say that it was still very, very entertaining. Keep this book away from kids
Okay.
because I mean, it's
Like
they're
the
shooting porn. They're not.
okay.
There's no holds barred in this.
I mean, they have to be sexy scientists, right?
Well, they are. They're sexy scientists and
Okay.
aliens and all this shit. It's crazy. It's a lot of fun. So the
That's
second printing
fun.
is out this week.
Cool. Is it like smut? Is it like, do you see like nips and like stuff like that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, cool. Do you
Oh
see
yeah.
junk? Because guys always get the good stuff. You get to see butt snips, but do chicks get to see junk? Like we get Batman dong and damn number one, and if you don't have $100, you can't see it.
That's true. That's true. I've got my Batman dong right behind me actually in my
You
bookshelf.
do? If you're willing to part ways, man, you know
Oh
who I'm a
no, no,
willing buyer here.
that's history.
Well, you at least send me a picture of it because I need to know what the whole hype is.
Oh, okay. Oh, you haven't even. Oh, yeah. I guess
No,
DC.
I haven't even seen it.
I'll
Like
take a
it when you
picture of
read.
Batman stick for you.
Oh, that's gonna be super embarrassing for you, man. I'm so sorry, but be a trooper.
I got you.
Thank
I
you,
got
thank you. I'm gonna actually get Money Shot and see what it's about because I don't read anything smutty or nothing like that, and I would like to see what that's about. And that's interesting, science. I would like to see how well the science is done and how well the porn is portrayed as well. I guess.
I mean, it's a comedic book for sure.
Cool, that's funny.
On the opposite side of comedy, though, we have the plot number 3, and
Okay, and that looks
this four.
super like what is it? Hail Hydra-y just from the cover to me. So
Yeah,
it does.
I get a Bernie Wrightson Swamp Thing vibe from it, and that's
Oh,
kind of what I get
nice.
throughout this whole book. To be
Oh,
honest,
really? So you've read
I
the first two?
yeah, it's fucking good. It's really cool. It's horror comics being horror comics, and
Oh.
it's dark. There's no upside to this book at all. But I mean, as far as dark goes, it's beautiful. So and
So
the art.
so we go from horror comic to horror comic?
Yeah, right. I see what you did
But up
there.
okay, okay.
Oh, horrors to horror.
Horrors to
All right.
horrors. Thoughts to
Uh,
thoughts, okay? So yes,
uh,
okay, so plot is that so none of these are on your pull list, but plot is?
Plot is
Cool.
one book that should definitely be on my pull list, but for whatever reason, I think this is going to be a trade weight for me. I picked up issue number 1, but once again, just
Too
Vault.
much.
Yeah, well, Vault. No, this is a book that really should be a priority for me because I was blown away by number 1. They're already at number
Resonant.
5. Yeah, Resonant. Resonant is incredible. I don't. It's David Andrea and Alejandro Aragon, and I can't recommend it enough. I'm not going to give any type of description because unless you've been reading the book, the description's not going to mean shit to you.
Right.
But yeah, if you didn't get number one, it's not a bad trade weight. But if you have been reading it by the issue, this is your warning. It's coming out Wednesday.
I'm gonna have to get with you on your previews World Hookup to get on some of these indie pools.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Dope.
Yeah,
Awesome.
there's good stuff coming out.
Okay, so out of these 6 for Vault, what is your number 1?
Ooh.
Resonant.
Yeah, Resonant. I mean, although I won't be, no, it's gonna be Resonant. It's
Okay.
just it's way too good. The plot's awesome, but Resonant is just next level in comics.
Okay, so what was the tie-up? What was the second good? Was it Mall or Plot that you liked?
Probably the plot.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't get around to yeah, I mean I've fallen off them all, but that's once again it's just because of density. It has nothing to do with the quality.
Well, sometimes I like to wait for the TPBs to come out because I'm a binge reader. So,
Right.
it's hard for me to get comic to comic and all that because I'm too unpredictable to stick that much to something.
Yep. No, I get you there. I'm a Gemini and I'm all over the place. I change my mind 3 times before I get to the period in the first sentence. So it's
Yeah.
yeah, I'm right there with you.
Good. Okay. I'm a Virgo, but supposedly they did my real astrological sign and I'm a Gemini. So it makes sense.
Ah,
My brother, dad, grandpa, all the men influencers in my life are Geminis. So you
right
never
on.
know. You never know.
That you do not.
I wish I could
Uh,
chime in on some of these books, but I have more, like you said, Marvel, Boom, Dark Horse, DC, Dynamite. When we get to those areas, if we do, I'll be able to chime in. If not, then I'll be able to just segment it the hell up alone, man.
oh no, you're good. I think you're gonna recognize some names here as we continue on with these indies. We're in Image Comics now.
Image.
Oh yeah. Let's see. I can honestly say that I don't think there are any books this week that I will be picking up. Well, no, there is one I will be picking up to read personally, but that's not going to stop me from shouting out all these other books. We've got Criminal number 10. Not reading Criminal, but I hear great things. Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips. So, Criminal readers, you have been warned. Curse Words number 25. It's Charles Soule, series finale, coming to an end. Now, trade waiters, your time is coming. So yeah, I haven't read Curse Words, but Charles Soule's fucking incredible.
Yep.
And yeah, enough said there. East to West number 44. This is Jonathan Hickman and Nick Dragotta. I have been told by every comic book reader out there that this is the book that was a book designed for me. Anyone that's read it that knows my taste says this is your book.
Wow.
I read the first volume and thought, well, shit, I don't have time to catch up on all this. But now that it's coming to an end at 45, so this is the second to last issue, I get to go through and I will actually binge East to West, and maybe even once I'm done talking about Chew for my trade negotiations, East to West may be my next thing. We shall see.
Wow. Okay. That's huge.
Yeah, no, I'm. Everybody says that this is the book for me, and yeah, I have a
But
hard time
but
believing
you
that
haven't
because
read it
Hickman.
yet?
No, I read the first chapter of the first volume and thought, well, this is cool, but when you're dealing with Jonathan Hickman, that's not going to get you anywhere. You
Right.
know, this so I mean, it's his story's just it's such a long ride with him that
Okay.
yeah. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna. I actually have been collecting it in singles since it's been suggested to me.
Is this the
So
smallest Image week that they've
m-
had in a
maybe,
while?
yeah. It's it's been a while since I've seen this few books on Image to talk about. But there
Me
is a
too.
huge one that is going to fly off the shelves this week, and that's Killadelphia.
Really? Out of them all?
Yeah,
Oh, because it's a
Killadelphia.
number 1.
Yeah, series premiere. Rodney Barnes, Jason Sean Alexander. Jason Sean Alexander is enough to sell this book.
Okay.
He's the guy doing Spawn right now. No big deal. Um,
Oh, wow. Really?
yeah, well, the fact that he's doing comics is mind blowing because he's a painter. He's a contemporary artist. He sells his paintings for six figures and shit. So for him to do a fucking
Wow.
comic book is crazy.
And a comic book that is Killadelphia ever been made? Is this the first time of it?
Series premiere.
Wow. So is this his work? Is this his labor of love, maybe?
Well, this is his art. It's Rodney Barnes's. It's his story.
Wow.
And let's see what we have here. When a small town beat cop comes home to bury his murdered father, the Revered Philadelphia detective James Sangster Sr., he begins to unravel a mystery that leads him down a path of horrors that will shake his beliefs to their core. The city that was once the symbol of liberty and freedom has fallen prey to corruption, poverty, unemployment, brutality, and vampires. So that last little word there kind of throws the whole thing for, you think, oh, okay, cool, detective story. Detective story with fucking vampires.
Wow.
So,
That's crazy.
This book's going to fly off the shelves. It's probably going to get
definitely add
optioned.
this.
Yeah, no,
I can't believe that there isn't a B or C or even D cover, made for it. Just one cover.
Well, Jason Sean Alexander did the cover. Does it get much better?
Okay, are you is it just that nobody wanted to follow those footsteps?
It's a hard thing to do.
Okay, good. It's not that it was underwhelming or unanticipated. It's just that he's a giant.
Yeah, he is.
Gotcha.
He's a giant.
I'm definitely getting that just because I'm all about shit like that. So thank you, man. Shit, that's on my number one list for what is this, Image? Yes.
It could end up being a number one overall when it's all said and done for me. At least from a speculator's point of view, for sure.
Man, for calling these types of things, if you get things right, do you get like free Killadelphia comics and gear? Like, come on, man, Image, hook it up.
No, but Mile High gets really happy when I tell them order a bunch of these and they'll go away, and then they go away by 7 o'clock, and they say thank you for making us so much money, Brian.
Will Killadelphia be one of those? Have you done that?
Tight. Yeah. I said the same thing about Undiscovered Country, and he went through and he ordered 60 more.
Nice.
And gone.
Yeah, so, and I actually kicked myself in the ass that I didn't get one. I had the opportunity to do it. Even David made fun of me that I'm always just like a day late, on everything. And I'm like, it's $1 short, dude, to get it right.
Right. Well, that's what Pull List Priorities for, is to make sure that people aren't late to these comics.
That's right.
To let you know
no
that
excuse.
If you listen to this podcast, there is no excuse to miss.
I'm learning already, and this is my first time even joining in with you.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get learned today. That's for sure.
You're gonna learn me.
That's right.
Is there anything you can follow with Image from Killadelphia? Or are we moving on?
We're gonna move on from there. There's a couple other books, but it's stuff that I haven't really heard much about. So yeah, it's mostly trades coming out from here.
Cool.
So let's believe it or not, there was some Dark Horse this week. That's right.
Let's check it out.
Yeah, from Dark Horse.
I actually think I had a pull from Dark Horse as well. I had one pull.
Yeah?
Yeah, would you like to hear it? It's hilarious.
Go for it. Go. I want to hear it.
Okay. So, oh no, you know what? Maybe it wasn't a Dark Horse. I just had it wrong. It was the Avatar Tsute's Path, but I don't think that was a Dark Horse.
That's Dark Horse. It's actually a trade though.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, volume 1 of the trade. So you might have it filtered out to where you're just seeing comics on your screen there.
Okay, so we can talk about trades as well, whatever, all categories.
Yeah, you can talk about trades. I don't usually talk about trades, but if there's something that excites me, I'm gonna fucking talk about it. So
here's the thing: is I had no idea that Avatar. I know that there's comics and such, but I didn't know that how much I loved Avatar until I finally watched the movie recently within the last couple of weeks. I know that's crazy, right? But when there's so much hype on something, I kind of am turned off by it. Like I kind of feel like a rebel or so. I don't know what it is about me.
Oh no, I do the same thing. If there's whatever's popular is where I'll be in the other direction.
Right,
it's not my thing.
But you did go see Avatar, and I'm sure you were on board with it and loved it.
I saw Avatar against my will.
Okay.
I was drugged to a midnight thing. I was there opening night with 5 trillion fucking blue-faced nerds.
Damn.
And I was the only
one.
What
an experience.
I could give a shit about that movie. I
But
mean, going into it,
by
and
the end, you didn't feel that way, right?
well, I fell asleep because it was midnight.
Oh wow. Yeah. Once I hit like 30, I can't go to a midnight movie, not even a 10 p.m. one.
I'm so glad they do these releases at like 6, 7 o'clock now. So
Yeah,
because
on Thursdays.
I'm not staying up that late. What the
Me
hell?
either. I could never. What the hell was I thinking as a kid?
Put me in a comfortable chair with snacks
Oh
and
yeah, and then
yeah,
they're trying to make comfortable beds, which gross, by the way. But
yeah,
beds, I won't even make a 4 p. A freaking matinee. Shit.
yeah. No, not
Oh
happening.
yeah, the only dark horse I had was the Avatar trade paperback. I love trade paperbacks. Like I said, I'm a binge reader, so I'll get that. I don't know if Avatar comics are like the '90s cartoon where it was a lot darker and a lot more like just so much cooler. The movie was great and everything, but it was the cartoon that was real good, which I also just rediscovered, which I just discovered.
Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh,
Huh.
it's freaking amazing. Like my husband introduced it to me, and I only watched maybe like the first episode, but wow.
Right on.
Yeah, you got to
Um,
check it out.
well, I definitely have a couple of Dark Horse books I want to shout out. The
Hit me
first
with
one
that.
being Fight Club 3, number 11. So this
I
12
saw
parter's
that.
coming to an end. Yeah, so
Oh,
with Fight Club, I read the first three issues and was confused as fuck because it's Chuck Palahniuk and he's brilliantly fucking bizarre. So
that's nice.
it's something that I'm gonna have to go through and binge, but because I was lucky enough to meet Chuck right
Wow.
as issue one was releasing, I was given the insight to where you can go through and wait for the trade to come out, but you're not gonna understand it to its fullest because and he's really crappy for doing this, but this is how you make money.
Uh-huh.
And all of these issues the beginning page has something called misinformation, and it is this blog from this reporter that has nothing to do with the issue at all. But he told me that these misinformation things, by the time we get to 12, is going to be the thing that ties everything together.
But will
So,
not be in the trade paperback.
but will not be in the trade paperback.
What? So will
There's
we
also
it'll be in a separate trade paperback?
I'm not totally sure. I mean, it's
What?
yeah, I don't know. But the other
Did
thing
you
beyond
did
just
you
the
get all of them?
what's that?
Did you get all of the comics?
I have been, yes.
Oh, you're so lucky, dude.
Yeah. Just because I mean I want to read Fight Club 3 and I'm willing to wait it out. But there's something else that's in these in the single issues that aren't gonna make it into the trade. And this actually makes sense. Every single because it's a 12-parter, every single issue has a calendar month in it. And last week actually, Dark Horse put out the Fight Club 3 calendar. So, well, I guess they did kind of spoil what the 12th month calendar looks like. And the calendar in each of the books kind of gives a somewhat of a plot, a very, very vague plot line to what's going to happen in the issue. But at the same, like I said, it's so broad and vague and Chuck Palahniuk-y, you're not going to get in. You're not going to figure it out, by
Well,
having, yeah.
is there any? Were you able to get these ones from Mile High?
Yeah, yeah, I've got all of these.
Yeah, they still have all 12 of them.
They should actually.
Are you
They
serious?
actually should. Yeah.
Oh my God, will you be in tomorrow?
I should be there. I should be around.
If we're together, let's please try to find me the 12 because you have me more intrigued by these 12 than anything in the world. Like I can't sleep tonight.
You're not the first person to tell me
Is,
that. Believe me,
does it,
I'll rack your brain with comics.
is it like Fight Club the movie? Does it have any association?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it has Marla and well, he doesn't go by Cornelius in this. I forget what he goes by in this, but
Cornelius.
it's it's fucking crazy. It is.
Okay,
But
no
it's
spoilers.
very, very different. No, well, I don't even know what I could spoil because I don't know what's going on. Like I said, I got through three issues. Like this is cool, but I don't know what the fuck I just read.
Oh
So,
wow. That's awesome. You
Yeah.
could binge them now, man. And you know what's going to be really cool is if I can get my hands on the 12, I'll definitely also get the trade paperback just to see how much different they are.
I'm anxious myself, and I don't know if this was just his way of saying, "Look here, you stupid dupe. Because I'm here in front of you, I'm gonna just convince you to make sure that you buy all 12 of these." And I could, I don't know. Chuck Palahniuk he's a strange person. He could have just fucking lied to me for all I know. He was right about the calendar though. So the calendar did come out, so that's for real. But
Yeah,
as far as
okay.
the misinformation thing, I
I
don't
think
get
it's
it.
kind of fucking cool. I gotta tell you, I mean, I'm somebody who didn't even give a fuck about it to somebody who's obsessively trying to find all 12 of them tomorrow.
Right on, right
So
on.
shit, you go, dude. Chuck, whoever the hell you are.
Chuck Palahniuk, yeah, man.
Chuck Palahniuk, you did your thing, man.
Oh yeah. The last Dark Horse book I'm gonna shout out is Machine Gun Wizards number 404. I picked up number one and thought, well, so the premise is, what if Al Capone, instead of pushing booze back in the day, was pushing this weird magical thing?
Is
Like
that
a
what this is
magical
about?
potion, and that's what it is.
Ty, it's
Anything that
about
has
Al
to do with
Capone-ish?
anything that has to do with Al Capone, I'm all about. Unfortunately, I think the first issue kind of missed its mark with me personally, so I didn't
Okay.
continue on.
Oh,
But as far as, I still hear great things. It's still, so many people say it's at the top of their pull list. So just because it didn't
wow.
resonate with me, by no means doesn't mean it's bad. I'm just one person.
Wow.
So,
And also you have to maybe read the last one and it'll tie in somehow, but and it has an A and a B variant, so that
uh,
was pretty popular of it.
and that
I wish I was able to get the first three issues, you know?
I mean, I could loan you the first issue if you want. I mean, see if you want to go from there. I'd be happy to do that. It's cool. It's cool premise. It's just for the pacing is what threw me off in it. I
Okay.
think I
Slow.
expected more, and this
Okay.
was okay. This is issue one.
Underwhelming.
Be prepared for the next three issues, and yeah, that's all it was. I wouldn't even necessarily. I guess underwhelming is a decent word. That's a good way to put it.
It's a nice word. I'm nice.
There
Okay.
you go.
So you were into Stranger Things or Witchfinder or the Umbrella Academy thing, whatever that is?
Yeah, I don't do Umbrella Academy. Stranger Things, I prefer to get that on Netflix than I do to read it.
Right? Is it the
'Cause
same? I'm sure.
I have no idea. I've never read a Stranger Things book, to be
Me
honest.
either. I mean, I don't like I love the show, but I don't like it enough to want to read the comic.
Yeah, the only I think I picked up one Stranger Things issue one time, and it was I want to say issue number one because Francesco Mattina did a variant cover for it.
Oh,
Anything that he does, I
nice.
buy. So but I don't think I ever
Okay.
even opened the book.
Right, you all know you don't open those ones.
Right?
Yeah, no. Cool.
Oh,
Good. That was a lot for Dark Horse. I mean, not as much as they have sometimes, but that was good for them.
oh yeah, for sure. IDW. I'm excited for IDW
I
this week.
like IDW, man. I mean, I didn't know if it was just from Turtles or what, but I had a couple IDWs in here.
Well, there's one for sure that and it's going to be the first one I talk
It's
about.
my first one I'm going to talk about. If it's the same as me, I'm going to cut you off.
Cobra Kai?
Which one
No?
is it?
Cobra Kai?
Nope, nope.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, no, Cobra Kai. All right, I felt I actually bought into YouTube Premium just so I could watch the Cobra Kai thing on YouTube.
Okay.
Turns out I fucking love it. I
Really?
thought, yeah, no, I didn't think that I would be into
Why?
it. It's
Because it's
it's
like
it's
the old
just
school?
entertaining. Yeah, it's just entertaining, and it's all of these same actors all grown up, and the as the comic says, the saga continues.
Out of
Well,
all the reboots that they've done, the freaking Karate Kid was the best.
oh, this is not a reboot.
Oh,
This is a full-on continuation from the story. I mean, yeah,
what?
no, it's all of them. It's amazing. The
Oh,
only
my
person
husband is
missing
gonna
in this is
die.
Mr. Miyagi for obvious reasons. He's the
Right,
only
right.
character not in this. He's still mentioned 1,400 times in episodes. So
Good.
yeah, so
Wow.
yeah, well, they've got two seasons out on Netflix now, and it seems like they're gonna continue on via comic books. Because this four-parter they're doing is well, it stems from the YouTube series. It's
Okay.
Johnny all grown up,
Grown
and
up.
yep, this is cool
So
shit.
is it? Are you telling me that Netflix it didn't pick up a third season or?
Well, not Netflix, YouTube. My bad.
Okay,
But
YouTube.
well, so I don't see how they wouldn't do a third season, but I think in between they're giving us something to keep us entertained.
Cool.
That's still within the
Awesome.
same universe that plays off of that show.
How
So yeah.
lucky am I that me and my husband, who's gonna love it more than me, but that we get a freaking binge the whole thing. We don't have to wait for nothing.
Oh yeah, no, there's 2 seasons, and
Yay!
you can't not binge them all.
I gotta
With
get
the
Cobra
first,
1 and then just pull it from here on. I know there's only 4, but yes.
yeah, I think when the first, yeah, no, it's a must read if you're a Karate Kid fan at all. It's a must
So
read.
really good fight scenes and shit, like really well drawn, really well, like all that shit.
Well, I don't know if there's
Training.
necessarily a fight scene in the first one, but it's not to go underappreciated if you've been following the series at all, because you're seeing all these characters like Hawk and all these other guys that they introduce in the series that you've never seen drawn before. It's like, oh shit, it's just cool to see them drawn out, and it's a fan service issue is really
Mm,
what it is.
cool.
I have no idea what to expect in number two, but I'm reading
So
it for sure.
did you get both? Oh, when the first one came out, did it have a couple different
Hmm.
covers? Did you get them all?
No, I just got I get the movie
Cover.
photo cover. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Yep.
So you'll get that one too. I hopefully I could find part one because I'll start getting those from now on. Man, you're just increasing my pull list. It's gonna be like 70 now.
Let's see. This podcast is only 3/4 over.
Oh
um,
wow. Okay, let's get it going.
so this one right here, Crow Hark the Herald, Tim
Okay.
Seeley and Meredith Laxton. I'm a big Tim Seeley fan. He's actually the same guy that wrote Money Shot that we talked about earlier. He's been a busy
Okay.
guy. Also writing Bloodshot too. But so
And
yeah, he's all over in
Money Shot
comics.
is a rated R. It's kind of like one of those hide from the kids ones too, right?
Yep, yep,
Tight,
definitely.
tight.
So this one right here, Crow Hark the Herald, I have no idea what it's about, but because of the creative team tied to it, I'm going to check it out for sure. Every year, a group of 6 people gather for Christmas in a cabin in the far north woods of Wisconsin. But
Yeah.
this isn't your average bickering nuclear family. These are 6 of the most prolific killers in North America. Fucking sold.
Nice. Sold
Sold.
as fuck.
6 psychos having Christmas together. That sounds
Oh, sounds
amazing.
like my family. I'm not even joking.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna get that one for sure.
Right on. Let's see what else. Transformers Galaxy. So I kind
Yeah.
of I really I love the Transformers, but unfortunately in comics, IDW's kind of been letting me down.
Really, I've
The
heard a
world
lot of
building.
that.
It's world building, and you have to really, really, really like Transformers um, to like this. And I do, but my favorite thing about Transformers is when they punch each other.
Yeah.
And there is yet to be a punch thrown between the
What?
13 issues of the Transformers ongoing and Transformers Galaxies. I read issue 1 hoping that someone was going to swing, but no, it's just the history of the Constructicons, and I don't know. Yeah,
Oh.
it's a Transformers book, so not for me, but
Mm,
yeah.
yeah.
What were you reading from IDW?
Well, you didn't touch on it, but Star Trek Picard Countdown, it's a TBA. What does that mean? But it's
Oh,
just number one is all it
okay.
is.
Yeah,
I'm not a Trekkie. I'm not a big Star Trek fan. I've recently started binging it. Kind of love it now that I'm an adult, would like to get into it. But if there's anybody, it's Picard. And number one, I might have to grab that one, check it out. And, just because it's like the movie
Yeah, well,
face.
and now, right, and with him doing this whole Admiral Picard thing or Picard series that he's doing, I don't know, they're reviving Star Trek, I guess, and yeah, he's coming back. I don't know, I don't, I've seen maybe 3/4 of an episode span throughout 1,600 different episodes of Star Trek. Like, I just, I don't,
That says it all.
yeah, Star Trek isn't really my thing, but
I wish someone would watch it with me and get into it with me. I would enjoy it more, but it's one of those things I do enjoy by myself.
yeah. Yeah, well, and unfortunately, a lot of people do because it's
It's not unfortunate.
Well, okay, yeah, sure, right on. But I have a feeling this is going to be a book that's going to fly off the shelves just because of the hype around this ABC show that's getting ready to start up. So,
I had no idea there was an ABC show.
yep, yep.
Cool.
Yeah, this is all the talk in Star Trek world right now. Is
I'll let
this
you know what I think of it when I read it, and let you know if I think that maybe you should get it just to have it, or if it's
right on, right on? So that's all I got from IDW. Is that all?
The only thing I had from IDW was Picard.
Okay, cool. And obviously there's more stuff, My Little Pony and Sonic the Hedgehog and all that stuff,
People
but
love that My Little Pony shit, and I thought they were getting it for their kids or something, but no, this is like grown ass men and women who love this shit.
yeah, yeah, no, it's I can't believe
I
the
can't knock
hands.
it.
Yeah, yeah, no, the yeah, My
I
Little
ha
Pony's popularity blows me away because I've
Me
once again
too.
it's one of those things that I've never, and I'm not just being that guy that doesn't want to admit it. No, I've never seen a My Little Pony anything. I had no idea it was as big as it was until I started seeing the volume of the amount of books getting sold.
See, I'm a girl. I was born in 1988. It should be my whole thing. But I didn't watch it as a kid. I didn't like it as a kid. I didn't want none of that shit. And then as an adult, I never read a comic either, but I do not like just find myself just being like, "Oh, I can't wait for that." It's not going to be no Weapon X to me, you know?
No, 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 no. And then Sonic is just as popular, especially with the
The movie
well,
coming out.
not just the movie coming out, but fans actually excited for the movie now with
I
all of
I'm
that stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited just because we were able to like bully them to freaking remake a whole, like, that was such hard work. Like, bravo to them for listening to fans. I wish more people do that, like X-Men movies.
If this movie doesn't make $200 million,
Then why
then
even listen to fans?
well, yeah, exactly. I mean, I
I
think
agree.
all of cinema right now is going, let's see what happens with this movie, and yeah, the way
Yeah, it's a
everything was dealt
test.
with. 100%. And if
Cool.
this movie doesn't do well, then shame on everybody that had an opinion.
I agree.
Because,
And
yeah,
I wouldn't even be surprised because that's how people are. They love to have an opinion, but they won't support the shit.
yep,
I
yep.
hate
But I
that.
feel, I feel like everybody now is gathering around Sonic the Hedgehog,
I
and
love the remake. He looks just like he should. I'll be there to watch it. I can't wait.
yeah, Jim Carrey as Robotnik is what gets me. Like,
Right. They picked
fuck.
the perfect person too.
Seriously.
I love me some Jim Carrey, man. I'm a
Who
90s kid.
doesn't? Who doesn't love Jim Carrey? You're soulless if you don't love Jim Carrey.
Yeah, out there, if you're listening, just turn us off because you're freaking soulless.
Soulless.
Any more for
uh,
IDW for you?
Not IDW, but I'm excited to talk about Boom.
Yay, me too, actually.
Right on.
Probably not for the same reason you are. I only have one on there that I'm excited for, and it's very for superficial reasons.
Okay. Well, there's definitely, some Boom stuff coming out that's popular that I'm not reading. Like this Angel is apparently doing very well. This whole Hellmouth tie-in between that and Buffy apparently is just all the rage right now.
No,
Never really
yeah,
watched Buffy though
same.
because it wasn't. I'm starting to find out that I don't think I'm a fan of the Whedon universe minus Age of Ultron,
Mm. Hey,
which is
maybe that's the same for me too because I tend to not like the same shit.
I don't like Firefly. I don't know.
Nope.
It's just Whedon's not my thing.
Yeah, and with the way people went on about Firefly when I watched it, I was just like, I don't know, am I dead?
No, I felt the same way. I have had 42,000 people say watch Firefly, and I couldn't make it 20 minutes in.
That makes me
I
feel
just
so
couldn't.
good.
I
Maybe we're just
couldn't.
soulless, and I love that, Brian.
Hmm.
Hey, and Angel number 7, it has three variants, so that's big for a Boom Studios thing.
Yeah, well, I feel like they have no problem giving Angel and Buffy variants.
And Power Rangers.
They're all about Power Ranger variants, and
And I
I get those
same,
variants.
same. I'm not a I so when I was younger I watched it. I was the Red Power Ranger when I was younger, whatever, for Halloween. But I don't read none of the Power Rangers, but when they start coming out with those foil like variants.
Dude, these foil variants have been amazing, and they look
They're
so good on my wall. And
beautiful.
I've
I love
waited
them.
so long for the fucking Black Rangers
And
foil
he's coming
Rangers.
out this Wednesday. Are you going to get more
Yes,
than one because of that?
they only order one at Mile High usually, and it usually
Okay.
goes directly in my box. So,
Cool. Great. Yeah, I'm
um,
doing the same thing. I cannot freaking. Before you told me about Previews World, I always wait for Mile High, so I'm just like a day or two before Monday. And when I saw this, I just like about sharded.
yeah, no, Power Rangers has been absolutely amazing. Whether it's
You've been
Go-Go or
reading
Mighty
it?
Morphin, I've been reading them both.
Cool.
And yeah, some issues are stronger than others, but this, I mean, it's been a
You're
whole lot
not
of fun.
reading the foil ones, are you?
Oh no, I don't.
Okay,
I don't even
good.
think my fingertips touch the covers of
Good.
those. I handle those separately. If any
I I
fingerprints
ha
touching that, it's not mine.
I haven't been able to find a Blue Ranger one to save my life, so I'm missing a Blue Ranger. And I got my hands on a Yellow Ranger from a couple weeks ago, but it's kind of beat up because it was the last one on the shelf there.
Oh shit.
But was there a White Ranger? I do not have that either.
There hasn't been a White Ranger yet. Yeah, my wall's kind of in a weird angle, and because they're so shiny, I can't make out what they are from this angle. But
That's
yeah,
awesome.
they still got a few to do. I think there's been a pink, a
Cool.
yellow, a blue, a red, and a black, and
Yay.
there's also been one of the Omega Rangers as well.
Oh wow, I didn't even
So
know about that.
yeah, no, these foils have been amazing, and
Yeah, so
of
that's
course they wait for the best for last on Zach because he's the
yeah,
best Power Ranger. I don't care
I
what
agree.
he says. Mammoth, Mastodon, that's what it was. Mastodon,
Mastodon.
Mastodon.
Damn, I haven't thought of that name since then.
Yep.
So that was the only Boom Studios one that I had was just the specifically the freaking foil
Right on, right
Ranger.
on.
Yeah,
Well,
because
the
I'm
story in
just
itself is
collecting
good.
them. Cool. Then I'll definitely start reading them.
Yeah, I think it's like right in the middle of an arc right now, so might have to do just a couple issues of back reading. But yeah, it's this whole big crossover event once again. They did the Shattered Grid between Go-Go and Mighty Morphin, and that's where I jumped on, and now it's whoa shit, what are they calling it? Necessary Evil. That's what the crossover is now. So
Nice.
it's fucking awesome.
Are you referring to them and the turtles?
No,
Oh, how do you feel about that?
I could not be more excited about
Me
that.
either.
I
Like
can't wait to talk
I'm
about
more
that.
excited for that than I was for that them and him and Batman.
Yeah, no, this is a big one for me. I
Yes.
cannot wait to talk
Me either.
about
Because I'm a big TMNT fan. I can't wait for the store variant from Michael Moore too.
that.
I ordered one from Mile High Comics and one from him directly to get it signed.
Oh, nice,
He's a
nice.
native here, so I'm hoping that every time I go in there, I ask them, "Are you getting him? Are you getting him?" They never know.
Hmm, I didn't know
Right?
that. Oh shit.
He's a Denver native. All that, all that.
Right
Make it
on.
happen, Brian. I know you know.
I know some people.
I know some.
I,
I know you know some people. You're
I know
my
some people.
people, so I'm letting you know.
There is one more book from Boom that I want to talk about. By
Cool.
no means am I reading it, but it is maybe their most popular book, and that's
Wow.
Lumberjanes. Lumberjanes number 68.
Right.
68. That is
Damn.
huge.
Is that
68.
Boom's largest ever
Um,
ongoing?
I'm not sure. Let me think.
I
Yeah,
might
off the
if
top of my, I mean, currently, it's definitely currently their biggest ongoing. So yeah, no, I would say, I mean, at worst, top three,
oh
but
wow. Do you want me to
it's,
read the little synopsis it says?
I think we could just go ahead and say that if you've got kids and you got a little girl or fucking even a little boy, I mean, usually this is a little girl's book though.
Real it is? Is it a LGBTQ thing, do you know?
I don't think so.
So have you read any of it?
Never.
Okay, I'm gonna pick up 68 and see what I think.
All right. Yeah, no,
Because
it's
that
incredibly popular
variant
with
looks
the younger
pretty cool.
Yep. Yeah, no, there are some cool covers
The
for sure.
Greco-Romans versus the Norse, I mean, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, I have no idea what any of this is, but it's incredibly popular with the younger crowd. So
Oh, really? See,
yeah.
I'm learning. Like you said, you were gonna learn me. You ain't never lied.
But yeah, no, that's all I've got for indies. So
Tight.
there's shit. This
My
is
time
really
to shine.
Let's do this. Let's go into DC.
Cool. I
Uh,
was right there.
yeah, Action Comics number 1017. I'm not reading Action Comics. I've actually fallen off of Action Comics. I did drop it. I'm not a big fan of the whole Leviathan thing they were doing, and yeah, it's just I'm getting my Superman out of Superman now. So
I don't blame you. When it just becomes so much, I just lose interest as well. Like when they had all the acetates, lost interest, all that type of stuff. However, I have to get Action Comics 1017, the cardstock variant, over the acetate because that's a Lucio Perillo, and I just love Perillo.
yeah, I usually pick up his stuff for sure. And
So
even
I'm
though I'm
just,
not a fan of Superman, that's still an awesome
you're
cover.
not a fan of Superman at all?
Not really.
Oy vey.
I can honestly say he's my least favorite superhero
That, over
over
um, like
anyone.
okay, like I'm all trying to think of someone, but then it just be
You,
messed up.
you think of someone, and I like him
even
more.
over like even over like blonde old school Aquaman who drove like dolphins.
Are you kidding me? Way more than Superman.
Oh
That's the
my
best
gosh.
Aquaman.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
the Justice Friends Aquaman was the best version of
Speaking of
Aquaman.
Aquaman, though, they are having a trade, the Aquaman Sword of Atlantis
Yeah,
trade, and that one looks like he's the old school Aquaman.
yeah.
So, is there anything you're like excited for DC wise?
Oh, there's plenty.
Oh, there is.
Basketball of
Okay,
Heads is. I can't wait to. I'm glad that we didn't have to wait too long for the second issue of that one because the first one was just pure cliffhanger. Hill House Comics. I mean, this is the jumping on point for it. So, Basketball of Heads looks amazing. Uh, let's see.
I wasn't even like hip of it, so I'm gonna have to check it out for sure.
Yeah, no, it's fucking awesome.
So
Batman
that's
Beyond. Now, this might be my favorite title in DC. I go back and forth, but it just kind of depends on what comes out that week. When it's Batman Beyond week, I say Batman Beyond's my favorite. When it's Detective Comics week, I say Detective Comics is my favorite.
nice.
But regardless, Batman Beyond is badass. We've got a Neo Batwoman now. We're gonna get the reveal of who she is more than likely.
Oh,
Uh,
in number 38.
yep,
Oh
yep. A lot of
wow.
people are speculating that it's gonna be Dick Grayson's daughter, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm excited.
Are you gonna get the A or the B variant? Looks sick.
I'll probably end up getting both on that one.
Okay, cool. I think I might have to pick it up just for that. I actually yeah, so the only acetate I want is the Batgirl 41 because the Oracle on it looks boss.
That is a really cool cover. I'm not
What a
reading Batgirl, but
no
yeah,
me either.
no, it's still highly popular and it keeps going. So no, Batgirl.
I really do believe that the art is what I can't say that though because I haven't been reading it. What about the Batman and Robin? It's an omnibus, but
Yeah, I don't have time for back reading. If it's
okay,
old, I'm not reading it. Seriously,
right?
if it's not something that's current, I don't have time for it.
I don't blame you.
Especially an omnibus, that's for sure.
Have you been up on Ra's al Ghul?
Nope, I don't like Neil Adams.
Okay, well that's easy shit. What
Yep.
about okay, so what else? What else are you looking forward to?
Oh boy, this is gonna be a tough week because it's also a Detective Comics week.
Yes, it is.
Detective Comics is this Mr. Freeze story is fucking badass. It's so good. It is
Yeah, I had
so
to pick it
good.
up.
Number 1015 was my book of the week for episode number 56, and it's incredible. Let's see what else is coming out. Flash is coming out. Flash number 83. I don't read Flash, not my character, but yeah, he's most people's characters, so I don't discriminate.
I haven't read any flashes, but I have been picking up the variants just because they're so sweet, and this is probably gonna be another one.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Um, Let me see what I wanted to say that I was really looking forward to. Huh. Swamp Thing. I like the giant books that they make.
oh
You
yeah,
know.
yeah. The Swamp Thing giant. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Swamp Thing,
DC doesn't have so
awesome.
much, which I'm glad about because it's like they're finally taking a break.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, there's still a bunch coming out, but not thankfully not a lot of it I will be pulling, so my wallet's going to be just a little bit happier. But there
Same.
are still books like Justice League Dark number 17. I am actually pulling this book, but I'm not caught up. It's one of the
Yeah.
few books on my pull list that I don't really read weekly, and
Are you
that's
gonna? Do you want the acetate? Are you gonna go straight regular?
I don't
because
know. I think
because
it's
the
whatever they put in
regular
my
one
book.
looks a lot better. The acetate one looks but that regular one looks badass.
I think I'm just gonna kind of leave that one up to whatever falls in the box.
Okay, they cost
Yeah,
the same. So
yeah.
there was a lot of talk about the John Constantine Hellblazer, but I don't know anything about it. I might pick it up because it's a number one, but I don't know anything about John Constantine.
Oh shoot, they are. I thought they just did this. I guess not.
Maybe
Okay.
they did a number zero because you know how they be doing that.
Well, they didn't. They did a Sandman Presents Hellblazer, but this is Sandman
John.
Universe John
Oh,
Constantine Hell. All right, cool. So I thought this was
so you'll pick that up?
I probably will, yeah. I don't know if it's gonna make it, as far as a priority for me to read, but I want to get into Hellblazer, so I want to have some sort of something to a pile stacked up to where when it's time for me to get into it, I have it all right there.
At least number one, right?
Right.
And
Uh,
I love Booster Gold, and I've always wanted to know about him. So the big fall hardcover Booster Gold kind of intrigues me. I'm not sure if I'll get it, but it intrigues me nonetheless.
yeah, no, Booster Gold's great, and he needs to be in more comics. That's for sure.
I wish you would get a movie.
Oh shit, we Blue and Gold. Where's that movie at? We need Blue Beetle and Booster Gold. That is the best
That'd be
duo in
so
comics.
sick. You know
Ah,
who I know this like I don't know if everyone will hate me for this, but I think Zac Efron would be a pretty sick ass Booster Gold because
he
he's
would
kind of
be.
funny, you
No, I
know?
think he'd be. That's a great casting, actually.
I would love that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Let's make that happen, DC. Zac
Shit.
Efron's already buff. He's shredded. He's the perfect age. He could interact with a CGI little thing. He's funny. He's likable. The girls love him. Let's do it.
Yeah, no. I'm on board with that.
Cool. Then that means everything.
Right.
Okay. You want to?
Martian Manhunter.
Oh, are
Martian
we?
Manhunter number 10. Oh yeah, there's still plenty of DC.
Okay. Cool. I'm
Martian
glad.
Manhunter number 10. I this is actually something that I'm gonna binge it. I have all of the issues. As a matter of fact, I have a lot of them
Lucky.
signed too. Uh,
What?
yeah, I got to meet old Steve Orlando not too long ago. But no,
Dope.
this is a crazy series that I feel is best in binge mode. But because I started out with the single issues, I'm gonna binge it in single issue mode. But yeah, no,
That
it's a wild ride.
variant is sick. I might have to
Oh,
just get that variant. I'm gonna try to get one through
all
nine as well.
all of the Joshua Middleton. Joshua Middleton has done all of
Oh,
the
it's
variants for
Middleton.
Martian Manhunt, and fuck, they're all so good. I've got one of them on my wall signed actually.
Sick.
Uh,
I gotta see that
framed.
wall, man.
Oh yeah.
I love Red Hood Outlaw. I got the Perillo Red Hood signed and slabbed, and I have a couple other ones too. But that Red Hood Outlaw number 40, I'll definitely get that Year of the Villain variant because that shit looks sweet.
Hell yeah. No, Red Hood Outlaw is a
I
book
haven't
that I
read it.
dabble in. I dabble in it. When it's a light week, I'll pick it up, but this is not one of those weeks where I'll be reading it because it's not a light week.
Right.
Oh shit, I just found my most anticipated book of the week.
Is it here?
Shazam.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Shazam number 8?
Shazam number 8. It's finally time after all of these delays, and even number 9's still going to be delayed too.
Why?
But it's because Jeff Johns is slow and he's doing Doomsday
Oh,
Clock and he's working on TV stuff as well,
oh.
and DC's pissed off at him, and so he's Jeff Johns, so he gets to be slow.
Cool.
But
If it's worth it, I rather it.
the cool thing about this book, between 6 and 7, there was almost a 2.5 month gap. When I
Gee.
when I jumped into 7, I felt like I never missed a beat. That's
Nice.
so, and yeah, Shazam.
That's excellent writing.
It's one of my most recommended DC books as far as a general target audience. Like if you
Oh
just
wow.
yeah, something to just have on the coffee table for anyone to read in the family. I
How
think Shazam's
nice.
it. It's an amazing book, and it's essentially what Jeff Johns is doing is setting up the sequel to the movie.
Okay, got you. And I liked the movie a lot. um,
Yeah,
I really need to try to get my hands on 1 through 7, and I'll pick up 8 for sure this week. I love the variant, so I'm gonna try to get all B's if I
right
can.
on, right on. Oh, let's
So,
see here.
of course, the Swamp Thing Giant number 2 I want.
Yes, we've got a Supergirl annual, so cool.
Number 2 as well.
Yes, we do. And we've got another Tales from the Dark Multiverse. Now, this one
Yeah.
is revolving around Infinite Crisis. So yeah, it's James Tinney the fourth doing this one, Aaron Lepresti and Matt Ryan. So I feel like I'm 50-50 on the Dark Multiverse books. The
Okay.
first two felt like okay, cool. The Death of Superman is my favorite Superman story. So when they did that Darky Multiverse story, obviously all about it. Lois Lane becomes Superman to fuck up all Batman. Cool with that.
Sick.
And then the one they did before that with what was it, Nightfall? I didn't think I liked that one, but Snyder blew me away.
Oh
So
man, I love Nightfall art.
yeah, I didn't read the Green Lantern one, or what was it, Blackest Night? I think was the last multiverse one, the Dark Multiverse book they did. But now the
Yep.
Infinite Crisis, Blue Beetle's on the cover. Um,
Oh,
so with
that's
Blue,
who that is, huh?
yeah, that's a dark version of Blue Beetle, and Blue Beetle's kind of my shit as far as
Is he
underappreciated DC characters.
is
So
he a
I'll be picking.
cyborg?
No. I don't know
Oh
what's going on
damn.
in this
Look at
story.
him. He's holding up freaking Superman's cape, holding up the lasso of truth and Batman's cape all at once.
Oh yeah, and Wonder Woman's tiara and Green Lantern's lantern, they all
Just
fucked up in the foreground. So
damn.
mhm.
I'm gonna have to pick that up. The only dark multiverse I got was I think it was the Batman one.
Yeah, the Nightfall. Yeah,
Yep.
that
That
was
was the
really
only one I
good.
got. I only did because Nightfall from the 90s was my shit, so I didn't know what it was, you know?
Right on.
But I didn't read it, but I'm going to now. But I'll definitely get this one when it comes out for sure.
Nice. Yeah, right on. I think that's all I got for DC. Obviously, that's not everything. If I were to talk about every single book that is on
Jeez.
previews, this is a 65-hour podcast. By the time we're done with it, it's Wednesday. So,
Right. Oh yeah, definitely.
that's what I got for DC. Let's talk Marvel.
Yay, Marvel.
It's Avengers time. Avengers number 27. I'm anxious to see where they're going with this. I've got 26 on my pile right now. So, yeah, it's Jason Aaron writing Avengers. So that kind of speaks for itself, right?
Right, exactly. Absolutely.
We're still doing this 2099 stuff. This is the first Marvel event since I started doing this podcast that I am completely passing on. I
Okay.
have no personal interest in 2099. Any ongoing story that has a 2099 tie-in, I'm skipping just because I don't
It's
know.
too much.
It's too much. There's you got me with Absolute Carnage and War of the Realms,
Yeah.
and that's what they're getting out of me.
Yeah.
They're gonna get Iron Man 2020 out of me at the beginning of the year. So I it's okay. I gotta skip an event. And 2099 is going to be that event, even
Don't
though
blame
there
you.
is Conan 2099 and
Yeah, and
all that
that's
other.
yeah, yeah.
I
It is
might pick up
hard.
Conan.
I did have to pick up a couple this week. I think I picked up
Fantastic.
Captain
Oh,
America or Captain Marvel, yeah, or something like that. Yeah.
yeah, Fantastic Four 2099 hit this week. Yeah, but I don't know. You're just 2099 is going to be a number.
Ooh, that Conan 2099 does look pretty sweet
I know,
though.
right? Shit,
Damn.
it's tough to say no to that.
Yeah. Oh
Uh,
man. Yeah. So yeah, I me with the same though. I've been trying to avoid the 2099s. I've been trying to avoid the Mary Janes. Like you said, they've already got me with so much other stuff, and I'm gonna be at the beginning of the year, Doctor Strange, all that. So I need a little bit of pocket money, okay? I gotta eat too.
right, right.
Yes.
Can't get all the ramen noodles
Oh,
stuff
there's
on.
gonna be Punisher 2099, and there's a Ron Lim variant too. So I might have to get at least two of those this week.
I mean, it's there. It's not always going to be easy to say no to this event, but overall, as far as my commitment to it, not so much.
Good. You
Not
you
so
saved
much.
yourself a lot of stress.
And money, because these
Yeah.
are
Oh
five
yeah,
dollar
for sure.
books.
Yeah, they
These
are.
tie-ins are $5 books. That's
They sure
crazy. You
are.
can't do $5 tie-ins, Marvel.
There's
Ugh.
a number one. It's the Fantastic Four Negative Zone number one.
Oh, okay.
So have you? I haven't really heard anything about it. I just saw it while I was looking through. There's going to be two variants, and I honestly might have to pick one of them up just to check it out because I love the Fantastic Four.
Right on. Yeah, no, I mean, Fantastic Four. This one slipped under. I had no idea this was even a thing. So,
Because
yeah.
there's been so much Fantastic Four, and with all of their grand design shit they're doing, it's kind of hard to keep up.
Yes, it is. Fallen Angels
Nice.
might be my favorite of the six new Dawn of X titles. Brian Edward Hill, Simon Kadansky is selling this book with his art for one,
Right.
but I mean, and Laura Kinney's my favorite mutant, so she's on a team with my favorite artist drawing her. I don't see how this on paper. All of the math says that this is my favorite book. So as far as the Dawn
Wow.
of X, and there's some good ones too. Marauder's fucking incredible. I mean, they're all pretty good, at least pretty good. So yeah, Fallen Angels staying on my list. No reason to drop that. Ghost
Absolutely.
Spider, Ghost Spider
Yeah,
number
Ghost
4.
Spider. And that freaking that variant looks awesome.
Yeah, no, there's the covers are always great on Ghost Spider, and Shauna McGuire's been killing it. Takeshi Miyazawa also killing it on the guts on the interior. So yeah, no, it's Ghost Spider. That's one I pick up occasionally. I think because of how big this week is, I might be passing on this one, but we'll see. I
You say that, but then
yeah, I say a
yeah.
lot of things.
Yeah, me too. But you know what I just noticed is that Ghost Spider variant is a 2099 variant. So
Oh
I
yeah,
just can't escape it, man.
yeah, they're gonna do that. They're gonna
Yeah.
do that.
I've been looking forward to what was I? Okay, so Scream, so I know I like another one is this Absolute Carnage stuff, right? It's driving me crazy. But this is Scream, Curse of Carnage, #1 Young variant, and the Archer variant. I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to get them, but I need that young variant. That is just so sweet. It kind of reminds me of like I don't know what it reminds me of, but it's just so good. But that's definitely gonna be the ones I get this coming up week.
right on, right
I'm
on. See,
really
I
glad.
don't.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Oh, I don't know. I really don't know shit about Scream, and as far as the Absolute Carnage tie-ins go, after reading the first one, I skipped the second two. So this one, if anything is gonna pull me in, it's probably gonna be the Art Germ variant.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I should probably have the #1 just as a collector.
I'm not a big Scotty Young art variant fan. I don't have much of his work, but I will get this. I'll probably get all three of them. I like Scream because she's a chick. So automatically, I just love that first symbiote chick. And yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. And Art Germ is so tight. So I'll definitely be getting that one.
All right, on. New Mutants #2. So this is Jonathan Hickman's writing this one. The first one actually lost me. This is probably the most confusing of the six for me, and I feel like it's really just following the team that was focused on before Hickman took over, Rosenberg's team.
Right.
So it was all right. I mean, I'm gonna keep reading it, but I'm confused. So
Are these going to be only 6 pieces as well? Like the
no, these are all ongoing.
oh shit.
Yep, I mean, Marvel is officially flooded with mutants. So
Okay, cool.
yep,
I mean, it's Powers and House. I knew when they started it that it was going to blow up, and I'm really glad I got my own short box for that because it's definitely already there.
right on. Yeah, no, it's I've got a Hickman box myself.
Cool.
Valkyrie Jane Foster. This is just fun. This is a cool
Is
book. Jason
it?
Aaron's writing it,
I've
and
missed out on all of it.
yeah, it's I go back and forth. I'm behind, but I really enjoyed the first issue. So good stuff.
Cool. What do you think of all these facsimiles? Uncanny X-Men 266, which is huge. Facsimile will be coming out. What do you think of the facsimiles? Are you a fan? Are you not?
I think I've picked up one facsimile, and it was Batman 181. That's the
Oh
only
yeah.
facsimile I've ever picked up because Poison Ivy's my girl, and other than that, like I like Gambit and all, but do I really need a reprint of 266?
Right. If you don't
No,
have it,
I'm not
then
gonna
maybe.
read it. So yeah,
Okay. I can't believe that I've been waiting for Venom #20 this long, but it's finally coming out. I can't wait for it.
Yep.
The half and half Venom, half Carnage. It looks like I've been waiting for that for so long, and then the Codex variant. I'll probably end up getting them all because the 2099 variant is the third one. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's almost $15.
Mm-hmm. But Venom's money well spent. That's the thing about Venom, is it's always money well spent.
Oh yeah, you ain't never lied. Since I've known you, at least, Brian. For
Right,
the record, you ain't never lied.
right. X-Force #2. So this is a cool premise. This well, they done killed Xavier in the first one. Not that that
Right?
means anything, but it definitely set off a string of events for the rest of the titles. So I don't know. I'm gonna keep reading it. You know, it wasn't my favorite of the six, but it's still. I mean, I don't know. If you're at this point, you're in Hickman's universe. You read it all. You
Yeah,
don't stop.
once you're in it, it doesn't matter if you like it or not. It doesn't matter if you hate it. You're freaking in it. It's like a marriage. You ain't going nowhere until this shit one of you are dead.
Right. And the last book that I'm gonna hype up this week from Marvel is Yondu.
Yondu.
Yeah, number two, Kelly Thompson.
I fucking love Yondu. If they could bring anyone back from the MCU, I'll take Yondu over like a lot of people.
Seriously, over Black Widow.
Over. I mean, you can name them, and I'll pretty much pick Yondu. I mean, it's harder now, but yeah, definitely Yondu's the shit. I didn't even know number one came out yet.
Well, so if you're familiar with Kelly Thompson's writing and all, and you're familiar with the character Yondu, put those two together, and that's exactly what you're getting out of this.
Sweet.
There's nothing unexpected. It's cool. It's just a fun read, as Kelly Thompson is so good at doing. So yeah, that's my hype this week. As well as yours.
Yes, that is. I don't think that we did not cover anything that I wasn't ready. I was so nervous about doing this because I was like, am I unprepared? Am I overprepared? But you made it so easy, Brian, just like you
Yeah.
do all the time. Thank you so much. I
It's just
really
comics.
appreciate you.
It's just comics. I'm happy to do it. And if I can get you hyped up, then I'm pretty sure that I'm doing my job with these listeners. Everyone that tunes in, they're adding stuff to their list every week. That's the whole point of this. It's not necessarily. I mean, by no means am I a comic book shill. They're not paying me to do this, but
Right.
I love comics, and they're not going to keep doing it unless other people like them. So I'm just trying to.
Absolutely.
And let's get the conversation going. The more people are that into comics, the easier it is to talk about comics. So yeah, and the more people talking about comics, the
But
happier the world is.
just to be clear, though, we are always accepting any type of, people that want to endorse us, any endorsements. Where,
Yeah.
we got you. We didn't talk about Dynamite comics, did we?
Well, Dynamite was a Red Sonja type of week. Usually with Dynamite,
Okay.
that's just
Too
it's
much.
well, yeah. I mean, there's going to be a Vampirella book, there's going to be a Red Sonja book, and there's going to be some weird crossover type of thing. That's that's Dynamite every single week.
Of
Every
course.
single week.
But I haven't gotten too many Vampirellas, but the only Vampirella I did want this week was the 50th anniversary, the poster. Not
Yeah.
even the comic, but I really want that poster. And that's it.
Right on.
And the Perillo, of course.
Right on. Well, I think that wraps up this show. I hope you slurs have been informed and reminded and enlightened. I know Chanel's done a great job on filling in on the stuff that I missed.
Thank you so much, Brian.
Well, thank you, Chanel. And I would like to remind y'all to support this podcast. It just gets better with your support. Do so by becoming a Patreon. Head over to patreon.com/cheers to comics, and for as little as $1, you're going to get some stickers and that peace of mind knowing that you helped produce this podcast. You made it just a little bit better, but it goes on up too. There's tiers varying from $1 on up. You join the big boy tier, and I am going to end up sending you some sort of comic a month, whether it's a variant or a hot key issue. I mean, I pick up multiple issues of some of these books for your sake. So
just for a buck.
Yeah. Well, the dollar tier gets you the stickers, and then on up. It ranges in prices, but the more you contribute,
awesome.
the better you get. Regardless, you're getting your money's worth by becoming
as soon
producer.
As we sign off, I'm signing on. That's for sure.
Right on. Right on. But if you don't necessarily have the extra scratch to chip in, but you still want to be a part of this podcast, it's still really easy to do so. It just takes just a tiny bit of time. Leave a review, Apple Podcast, or anywhere you listen to podcasts. There's usually some sort of place to leave some sort of feedback. But getting this podcast in the Apple ether is huge. So just leave a 5-star review, tell us what you think, and it helps tremendously. Or there's Podchaser too. If you're not familiar with Podchaser, which you may not be because it's pretty fucking new, it is essentially IMDb meets Facebook without the cringe. meets podcast.
Sweet.
So if you're, say you listen to this podcast and Chanel, if you were to have a Podchaser account, I could link your Podchaser profile to this direct episode. So then when people pull up this episode on Podchaser, they say, "Oh, well, who was this Chanel person?" And then from there,
sweet.
yeah, you would link that over to the Big Two podcast, and it's amazing. And this is not just for creators as well. I mean, this is a place for fans of the podcast too.
I'll definitely get on that.
Yeah, Podchaser's awesome, and leaving those reviews helps all the same there. So do that. Become a patron. Leave reviews. It helps tremendously.
Awesome.
Other than that, yeah, I think that about does it. Yeah, I think it's safe to call this a podcast. You fuckers read responsibly. Cheers.
Cheers.
Hey everybody, this is RJ,
Ash, Ray,
Brandon,
Harrison,
and Bronson.
We host a Dungeons & Dragons podcast called Realms and Nerds. Some highlights of our show include wreaking havoc in every town we visit,
blowing up hot tubs, killing off fan favorite characters,
high necromancers, inappropriate wedding etiquette, and every now and then, actually good storytelling.
Join us in the realms of Pridea for fun fantasy adventures. You can find us on Podbean, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or just about wherever you get podcasts.